And the males come to us 1 week earlier than the females. And what the males are looking for is something called their singing ground. And what they need is an open meadow next to dense thickets. But not any open meadow would do. It has to be moist, because the American woodcock lives on earthworms. Earthworms is 95% of its diet. And what it will actually do is it will do a little dance on the ground, like this. And the earthworms will hear that and wonder what it is, and they'll try to run away. And by that, the woodcock will know where the worms are. And it has a 5-inch long beak. And the end of the beak is prehensile, which means it can squiggle at the end. And it can dig down, and it can actually turn corners to get worms. But that's not the important part. The important part is that every late winter and early spring night, the American woodcock will come out of the thickets and come into his singing ground. And he does this exactly at the same time the first star appears in the sky. And he will step into the middle of the circle and make a sound like this. That's not quite the sound, but you get the idea. And he'll do this facing east, and then north, and then south, and then west. And then, the best part, and that's to call out to any female woodcocks that might be waiting in the thicket to say, and that's the woodcock's way of saying, ladies, the show is about to begin. Check me out. And then the woodcock will explode off the ground and fly 300 feet into the air. 300 feet. That's as tall as a football field. And once he's up there, he will do this very beautiful dance. And ornithologists, which are people that study birds, call it the sky dance. And it's this beautiful dance where he goes in these crazy figure eights, and he's making lots of sounds. And some of the sounds are from his double-breathing throat, and they're whistling. But even more of the sounds, his first 3 primary feathers are notched, and he plays them just like a flute by going like this. And he does this beautiful dance 300 feet up, just as the stars are coming up. And then, just as suddenly, after about 2 minutes of this, he'll dive to the ground, and he'll land right where he took off from. And then he'll look around and see if any female woodcocks have been impressed with this dance. And if they have, the female woodcock will come out to join him with her tail up, which means she is ready to mate. And if they do mate, then the female goes back into the thicket and scratches out a little nest, and the male goes right back to the singing ground to try to entice another female with his charms. Now, because they're very quiet and secretive, and they don't like people watching them, Not too many people know about them, but to every bird lover, and it's not spring until you see the beautiful, beautiful sky dance. And it's going to happen this week coming up. And you have to go out 15 minutes before sunset. And if you're lucky enough to have found a moist field with thickets, you have to stand absolutely still and wait. And if you're very lucky, after about 20 minutes, when the first star comes out, you'll hear bang. And that means don't move, don't breathe. You're about to see one of the miracles of spring in New England. And some of my ancestors, the Pennacook Native Americans, believed that the woodcock was very important because he carried spring on his back. And all the other animals had tried to break the winter's back, and they couldn't. And the bears gave up and went into hibernation. And the wolves said, well, we don't care, we're just going to keep eating the deer. And nobody could do it. The beaver went into his lodge, the birds flew south, but finally it was the woodcock, the small little woodcock, who flew north and carried the spring on his back.
Yay!